All right, here we go. Protect yourself at all times. We are on it. Ron Futrell here. With the latest on a busy Saturday as we get ready for Thanksgiving, get ready for the holidays, and all sorts of stuff. There is a lot of sports. I'm going to mention real quick. Went to Costco this morning. Jam-packed, filled, full, 100%. The parking lot, 100%. Not a spot in the parking lot to be able to park. Had to wait for a while and had to watch, and somebody came out and finally got into a spot. But yes, the Saturday before Thanksgiving, oddly enough, gets very busy at, who would have known, gets very busy there at Costco. So, welcome. Glad to have you with us here. Thanks for listening to the Vegas Sportscast. On this Saturday, we've got UNLV basketball, UNLV football. We'll do some prep stuff for football, and also Vegas Golden Knights. So there is a ton of stuff happening. First of all, from what happened yesterday and what's going to be happening coming up in the future. First, let's talk Rebel football. Let's jump in. Rebel football right off the bat here. 38-35 win over New Mexico. Rebels were 2-point underdogs in that game, ended up winning by 3. They had the ball on the 35-yard line with a minute left in the game and were able to score to win the game, come from behind. Exciting win, thrilling win. I was very happy for Darren Woods Jr., by the way. Great performance for him. Caught a key pass, 50-yard pass to set up the final score of the game. Armani Rogers, great job with him for the Rebels at quarterback and everything that he put together. So just a great performance by UNLV, by what they were able to put together yesterday. And what this means, interesting stat of the game. New Mexico had 482 yards rushing. 482 yards rushing by the Lobos, 0 yards passing. Yeah, they threw 4 passes, and none of them were complete. 0 for 4 passing, no yards, of course, but 482 yards on the ground, and lost the game. So much for the balanced offense. Who needs a balanced offense in football? Well, they didn't win. So, okay, what this sets up from here. UNLV football now has 5 wins. They are 5-6 on the season. Got to get 6 wins to go to a bowl game. So, get the crowd cheering on this one. You don't want Rebel fans, because all the Rebels need to do is win at Reno next weekend, and they will be favored in that game. They play at Reno on Saturday up in Mackey Stadium. They get that win. They go to a bowl game. And Reno's having a horrible year, but still playing at Reno. Oh, no. Still, this is the way they salvage their year now up in Reno, is by beating the Rebels. And it's called the Governor's Series. It's is what it is. And obviously the Fremont Cannon for years has been the trophy in this game. So, Rebels, Reno, we're going to be talking a lot about that this week. Rebels taking on Reno for a possible bowl bid. Reno would love nothing more, Nevada Reno would, than to shut the Rebels down, win the Fremont Cannon, and keep the Rebels from going to a bowl game. That would make their season. So that's going to be their motivation. And Chris Ault, former athletic director and football coach there, he does some goofy things. I think he has a voodoo doll of some sort, and he can put hexes on teams, and he may do that. He may do that. So watch out. I'm just saying, just warning you, Rebels, as you go up there. Goofy things might be happening up there in Mackey Stadium in Reno. So that's going on. Okay, hoops. Rebel hoops. 91-76 Rebels with a win yesterday over Eastern Washington. So got that one there. Now 3-0 on the season. Eastern Washington, the best team they've played so far, but they've blown everybody out. This Rebel team has. Chris Clyburn with 19 points. Good balanced scoring by this team. They're scoring a lot of points. They're running. These are running Rebels. They do have Rice on Monday. That's going to be at the MGM Grand Garden. So they begin a series there, possibly up against Utah. They got a matchup against Arizona later this year. So we'll see what this is the key for the Rebels, is now they get into a better part of their schedule, non-conference schedule, see what they can do there. But they have looked good. They have really looked good. And just watching them play and how they play and everything they're doing, pretty good performance there for Rebel basketball, and see if they can keep it up against better competition as the holiday tournaments begin here in the Valley. Okay, went to Vegas Golden Knights practice today at City National Arena in Summerlin. Malcolm Subban worked out pretty well today. He was at it. He worked out hard in the nets. And this, it's been 3.5 weeks since he went out with what appeared to be a groin pull. They haven't really said. They just said lower body injury. That was 3.5 weeks ago. But he was back at practice. That's an encouraging sign for the Vegas Golden Knights because he has been activated onto the roster now. So they have Subban and Maxim Legacy are their two goalkeepers right now. Dylan Ferguson has gone back to the World Hockey League where he's in British Columbia. The Kamloops, I think British Columbia Kamloops is the team that he plays for. So Dylan got to play in one game, which, bless him, he's 19 years old, so his time is going to come. But he gave up one goal against Edmonton in 9 minutes. So played well in that game. Golden Knights are coming off a victory that they had on Thursday. They were able to win at Vancouver. Good performance there, a 5-2 win. Got an open netter at the end. 5 different players scored in that game. Oh, Nate Schmidt took a puck to the chin in that game, and so I chatted with him a little bit this morning. And he's got 7-8 stitches in that chin, and looks pretty good. And as Coach Gerard Gallant said when I asked him at the press conference, I said, what about Nate? Comment on that a little bit. And he says, he's a hockey player. That's what you do. You get hit in the chin with a puck, get a bunch of stitches, come right back in the game, which that's exactly what he did and contributed to that victory for the Vegas Golden Knights. Again, 5-2 over Vancouver. And it's always key when you can beat teams in your own division, okay? Because you take away points from them. Right? Makes sense. You're going to have to. That's how you make the Stanley Cup playoffs and how you rank in your division. The top 8 teams in each conference make the playoffs. 8 from the East, 8 from the Western Conference. So when you beat a team in your conference, it's much more important because you take away points from them and you get the 2 points yourself that you get for a victory. So they've got. Speaking of that, another game coming up tomorrow. 5 o'clock start, T-Mobile Arena, first game against the Kings, the LA Kings, here in town. And the Kings are in first place right now in the Pacific, so in the Western Conference. They get the best record in the Western Conference. Knights have the second best record, so they're right there. By the way, an interesting stat that I saw the other day, if you are in the playoff race on Thanksgiving, you have a 78% chance of making the Stanley Cup playoffs. Okay? So Thanksgiving, Thursday, right? The Knights are going to be in the playoff race on Thursday, okay? They can't lose enough games between now and then, and other teams make up the difference. So they're going to be there. So interesting stat. Again, I'll repeat it again. If on Thanksgiving Day you are in the you are in the playoff chase, you have a 78% chance of making the playoffs. So, wow, for an expansion franchise, that would be phenomenal for this team. Prior to this year, and they haven't made it yet, Vegas Golden Knights, but over the last 25 years, which is really the modern history of when all the realignment and the additional teams were added to the NHL. So in the last 25 years, the fastest that a team has made the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's an expansion team, has been 3 seasons. Nashville did it in their 3rd season. That was the fastest any expansion team has ever made the Stanley Cup playoffs. Golden Knights, it's early, but still on the precipice. How about that? Of being able to do it with their record. They are now 11-6-1 is their record going into the 5 o'clock start tomorrow against the Kings. I may do the Vegas Sportscast, do a podcast from the arena tomorrow during the game. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll go live from the game for a little bit and check in on that. Oh, high school football last night. A couple of good games here yesterday, as expected. Bishop Gorman over Arborview. Great season for Arborview, by the way, but knocked them out of the playoffs. And then also, Foothill and Legacy went at it, and Liberty rather, and Liberty gets the victory there. So it's going to be Liberty Gorman going at it here in the South, which is the classic that matchup that we've had for a long time that have happened here in the Valley. The two top teams going at it here in high school football as we narrow things down and getting ready for state for the championship to see what happens. Gorman's won 9 straight state titles. Okay, so there you go. So if anybody can knock them off, it's going to be Liberty, but they've got to Taylor Oblad, the quarterback, fine quarterback. We'll see what he can do, and it's 2 great quarterbacks certainly for these 2 teams. One is going to UCLA. The other, Oblad still hasn't decided yet where he's going to be going. So That's your sports, everybody. Thanks for listening, and spread the word. Let people know. Tell a friend. You can find us where all fine podcasts are found. We're on Google Play. We're on iTunes. We are on, iHeartRadio. We're on our website, thevegassportscast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Vegas Sportscast. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Futrell if you want that as well. So have a good weekend. Raiders real quick. Playing tomorrow. Playing Sunday. The Raiders down in Mexico City against New England. Raiders 7-point underdogs in this game against the Patriots, the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots down there. So we'll see what the Raiders can do. See if they can finally intercept a pass. How about that, guys? Might want to think about doing that at some point this season. The Raiders, 9 games into the season, Raiders have not intercepted a pass yet. And that, by the way, is an NFL record. Not the kind of record you want, right? No. Not the kind of record you want, Raiders. So that's what's going on, too. I want to mention that. So tell a friend. Thanks for listening. Let people know. Number 1 podcast in Las Vegas for sports, the Vegas Sportscast, right here, right now. Thanks for listening, everybody. That's the way I see it. I'm Ron Futrell. Bye for now. Have a good weekend.